The Boiled One is psychological horror in its purest form, an entity that weaponizes memory itself. Now we enter truly horrifying territory. A tall, lanky figure with raw crimson skin, a melted head filled with teeth, crowned with hair like spikes. But the absolute terror isn't in his appearance, it's what he does to those who see him. The genius of the Boiled One is in his method. He doesn't need to chase or attack, he simply needs to be seen. Once his image is in your mind, he owns you. Victims report hearing trumpets, feeling him feeding on their spine, and seeing him everywhere. Most end up with locked-in syndrome, trapped in bodies they can't move while the Boiled One watches. His prophecy speaks of end times when the scalding blood of life pours down from an opening in the sky, while thousands laugh. It's cosmic horror made personal, turning our minds against us.
You will be asleep in bed. I will be there and watch over you.
Tor Valum, a Lovecraftian alien with leathery skin, 7,000 years old, and powerful enough to teach even Darth Plagueis, was the Sith Lord who almost changed Star Wars forever. What makes Valum fascinating isn't just his raw strength, it's what he represents. Here's a being so ancient that he remembers the fall of the Old Republic. He taught Plagueis how to control midi-chlorians, the essence of life itself. Yet when asked about his former student, Valum dismisses him as meaningless. That kind of arrogance comes from millennia of dark side mastery. But Valum's story takes an even darker turn. After Emperor Palpatine's death, Kylo Ren seeks him out, hoping to unlock Mortis's secrets. Instead of finding a mentor, Ren discovers a monster who teaches him to drain the living force from living beings. The student becomes the master when Ren turns this technique against Valum himself, reducing him to a withered shell. "I have given you everything," were Valum's final words. And in those words lies the tragic irony. By teaching Ren to destroy life itself, Valum sealed his doom. Unicron, the Chaos Bringer, exists as a multiversal singularity, a being so vast that he devours entire worlds. We have now scaled up to something beyond human comprehension. Created by an entity known as the One, Unicron began as an instrument to explore the universe alongside his twin, Primus. But where Primus chose creation, Unicron chose destruction. His goal? To consume all reality, leaving only himself in an eternal void. Think about that scale for a moment. Unicron doesn't just destroy worlds, he transforms into a planet-sized robot to do it. His blood, dark energon, corrupts and reanimates the dead. He exists across multiple dimensions, moving between realities at will. But what makes Unicron truly terrifying is his patience. He has played chess for eons, using heralds like Galvatron to further his goals. He calculates probabilities across time and space, ensuring his plans adapt to resistance.
Once I have the key, I alone will reign supreme.
Frontman, better known as Huang and Ho, hides a different kind of darkness in plain sight. From a faraway galaxy, we now turn to South Korea, where the mystery of the Squid Game unfolds. His twisted path from hero to villain sets the frontman apart. A former police officer who won the games himself in 2015, In-ho lost his pregnant wife before he could use his winnings to save her. That loss shattered him, leading him to oversee the games that broke him. But here's where it gets interesting. In-ho isn't just running deadly games. He's creating what he sees as a perfect system of equality. In his mind, the games give the downtrodden a chance they never had in the real world. As he tells one contestant, "You people are horses. It wasn't a bad dream for you anyway." The real horror? He might have a point. In a world of crushing inequality, the games offer a brutal kind of fairness. Everyone dies the same way, regardless of their status outside. His most chilling moment comes when he executes a staff member for removing his mask. "Whether you sell off organs from the dead or devour them, I don't give a damn," he declares. "However, you ruined the most crucial element of this place, equality."
Player 456. Did you have fun playing the hero?
Ganondorf Dragmire, the king of the Gerudo, rose from the desert to threaten an entire kingdom. Speaking of twisted equality, he is one of gaming's most enduring antagonists. Born into a tribe of thieves, Ganondorf's origin carries a certain tragic weight. Every 100 years, one male is born to the Gerudo. That male becomes their king, a destiny that shaped Ganondorf from birth. But it wasn't enough. He watched his people suffer in the harsh desert while Hyrule prospered, and that inequality ate at him. But don't mistake him for a simple tyrant. Ganondorf is a master strategist who plays the long game. In Ocarina of Time, he swears fealty to the King of Hyrule while plotting its downfall. He manipulates time itself to achieve his goals, and when he finally claims the Triforce of Power, it's through cunning, as much as strength. What makes Ganondorf truly terrifying is his immortality. No matter how many times Link and Zelda defeat him, he returns. He's been sealed in the sacred realm, turned to stone, and impaled by the Master Sword. And still, he comes back.
Was that the sword that seals the darkness?
Aku, the shape-shifting Master of Darkness, began as a fragment of cosmic evil so ancient it predates the dinosaurs. From personal horror, we shift to a being who turns horror into dark comedy. Born from a black mass fought by Odin, Ra, and Rama, Aku represents incarnate chaos. When an emperor tried to destroy him with magic poison, it backfired spectacularly, giving the evil mass intelligence and personality instead. What makes Aku stand out is his flair for the dramatic. He doesn't just conquer, he reshapes Earth into a dystopian future, where aliens mingle with robots, and science and sorcery create a world that's as absurd as terrifying. He opens Earth to intergalactic criminals, enslaves scientists to build robot armies, and treats it all like his personal entertainment. But beneath the showmanship lies true darkness. Aku torments Samurai Jack for 50 years, sending him through time, destroying his home, and breaking his spirit. Even when he falls into depression and seeks therapy by splitting himself in two, Aku never loses his essential nature as an agent of chaos. As he demonstrates through his daughter Ashi, his very essence corrupts. Even in death, he ensures one final tragedy. When Jack defeats him in the past, Ashi, born of his spirit, fades from existence.
Fool! Nothing of this world can harm me.
Hannibal Lecter, the cannibal who makes murder into art, is perhaps the most human monster on our list. Born into Lithuanian nobility in 1933, Lecter's path to darkness began with unimaginable trauma. At age 6, he watched Nazi collaborators murder and cannibalize his sister Misha. This moment shattered his faith in justice and humanity, creating the monster we know. But Lecter isn't just another trauma-driven killer. He's a Renaissance man who turns murder into a grotesque art form. As a respected psychiatrist in Baltimore, he moved through high society while serving his victims at dinner parties. His murders often carried elements of poetic justice. He made meals for musicians who played poorly and rude people who offended his sensibilities. "Rudeness is unspeakably ugly," he once said, a chilling justification for his acts. Even in captivity, his sophistication never wavered. He attacked a nurse while maintaining a steady pulse of 85, showing the terrifying control that made him so dangerous. Lecter's ability to see into others' minds is what differentiates him. He doesn't just kill, he understands, manipulates, and transforms. His relationship with Clarice Starling shows he can admire strength while never losing his predatory nature.
People don't always tell you what they're thinking. They just see to what you don't.
Nyarlathotep, the crawling chaos, is perhaps the most terrifying villain in fiction because he makes cosmic horror personal. Finally, we reached our #1 spot. Unlike other Lovecraftian deities who sleep or remain distant, Nyarlathotep walks among us. He takes 1,000 forms, from a tall Egyptian pharaoh to sanity-shattering monstrosities. But here's the truly frightening part. He understands us. While other cosmic entities like Cthulhu or Azathoth are mindless or indifferent, Nyarlathotep seeks to destroy humanity through manipulation and madness. He speaks our languages, understands our psychology, and uses our science and progress against us. His influence spans ancient Egypt to the nuclear age. He corrupted the Black Pharaoh Neferka, guided medieval witch covens, and even influenced the Manhattan Project. Why? Spreading madness brings him joy. One account states, "And where Nyarlathotep went, rest vanished, for the small hours were rent with the screams of nightmare." He doesn't want to destroy humanity simply. He wants us to destroy ourselves while he watches and laughs.
And he accomplished so much.
Now it's your turn. Who do you think deserves the top spot? What other villains should have made the list? Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more dark dives into fiction's most significant characters.